The meeting may begin.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'll call the meeting to order at 12:33 p.m. And the first order is the territorial land acknowledgement. Before our meeting gets underway, I would like to formally recognize the traditional keepers of this land and specifically our neighbors of the Alderville First Nation with a formal territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Alnwick-Haldeman is located on the Mississauga Anishinaabe territory and is the traditional territory of the Mississauga Anishinaabe. The Township of Alnwick-Haldeman respectfully acknowledges that the Mississauga Nation are the collective stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. Thank you. And next we have a moment of silence for our fallen soldiers and citizens. Thank you. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof? Seeing none. I also like to mention that Deputy Mayor Gibson is absent today. Item 5 is approval of the regular council agenda for Thursday, September 1st. Be it resolved that the agenda for the regular council session of Thursday, September 1, 2022 be approved as circulated. And we did have an update on it, an addendum which has been added. So could I have a mover, please? Councillor Hogg, second. Councillor Philp, all in favor? Carried. Item 6 is Public Works. 6.1, we have a delegation. Our delegation today is Jean and John McGuire, and they're here to discuss the extension of a non-open road allowance between lots 16 and 17, concession 6, former Haldeman Township, and the road's known as Bradley Hollow Road. Be it resolved that council permit Jean McGuire and John McGuire to take the floor to make presentation to council regarding the proposed upgrade to a portion of the road allowance on Bradley Hollow Road. Mover? Councillor Booth, second. Councillor Philp. Okay, do you want to, when you set up then? There's Brian, he's here.
Test, test.
Okay, thanks for having us today. I'm John McGuire, and reside at 1224 County Road 22, and we own property on both sides of the Bradley Hollow Road that we'd like to see extended to the north. The entrance off the county road now is up to standard, and the road has been being used by us to enter our property. I don't think it's too far off standard now, but we would be willing to enter into the agreement to bring it the rest of the way to just to the public works standards and do the cul-de-sac. And basically, we just wondered if you had any questions about it or.
Okay. I'll ask council. Council, do you have any questions for John? Councillor Booth?
Hi, through you, your worship, to John. John, so is it
the property, when you look at Google, are you running, is that the motocross racing series that's run there behind the,
That's correct, yes.
so this will give you access to there instead of people coming through the front way, right?
We've always used that access and, as I said, the road is pretty well to standard now. We are going to close the track down and our son wants to build a house on that. So that's why we want an official entrance off that, off Bradley Hollow. So
Yeah.
we can build a house there.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further? Counselor Philip?
Thank you. My question to you, sir, would be, have you talked to our planning department to see whether your future plan of building a house there conforms with the township requirements?
Yes, we have.
And you got approval in principle to do that?
That's correct.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. You might as well stay there, John, because our next is the report from Brian McMillan, our Public Works. But I need to call for the vote on this, which I should have done first. All in favor? Letting him speak. Okay. Thank you. So 6.2 is the report from Brian McMillan, Manager of Public Works, Parks and Recreation. It's dated September 1st, upgrade to Bradley Hollow Road for Assumption, and the request is from Jean McGuire. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Almac Haldeman approve the request of Jean McGuire to upgrade a portion of the road allowance on Bradley Hollow Road to a full township standard, including a cul-de-sac acceptable to the Manager of Public Works, Parks and Recreation, so an entrance can be developed off of Bradley Hollow Road for roll number 1450-116-050-07850-0000 at concession 6, lot 17, part of the road allowance between lot 16 and 17. Former Haldeman Township, provided all costs are borne by the applicant, Eugenia McGuire, and further that the mayor and the acting clerk of the Township of Almac Haldeman be authorized to execute an agreement at a future meeting between the township and Eugenia McGuire for the upgrading a portion of the road allowance between lot 16 and 17, concession 6, extending approximately 400 feet, extending south on Bradley Hollow Road. And further, that once the road is brought up to a township standard, satisfactory to the Manager of Public Works, Parks and Recreation, that a bylaw be passed to assume this portion of the road into the township road system. And further, that the Manager of Public Works, Parks and Recreation report be received and filed. Mover? Councillor Hogg, second, Councillor Booth. Okay. Any questions from council, or do you want Brian to address it first? You have a question, Greg?
Brian can go ahead and then he might answer the question with this.
Okay. Got anything, Brian?
No, I'll just add a little bit to what the mayor just said. Anyways, good afternoon, Mayor Latford and members of council. Yes, this is a similar agreement that we have entertained before in the last few months with residents on Leach Road and Montgomery Road. The only thing difference about this one, it's going to be coming onto County Road 22. So I will be, the county will be in consolidation on this as well too. So, but it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, nothing really to add, just,
Okay, thanks. Did that answer your question?
No.
No? Okay, Greg has a question.
Through you, your worship, to Brian. And Brian, I ask this question all the time when it comes to this is, so in the agreement, is there a timeline or a date set out? Because we just want to make sure we don't run into an instance where, and I'm not saying this would be with you, John, and that we've had in the past where people have started and then they've never really finished it and it's years later and we're waiting for it to be done. Is there a timeline or something, Brian, that's in the agreement?
and Councillor Booth, I should have known you're going to ask that question, so I apologize for that. Yes, again, for the McGuires to get the building permit, The road has to be brought up to the township standard before they get the building permit. So in this case, compared to one that you're kind of, going back to, this is a little different. They're doing this to get a building permit off of a township all year round road allowance. So that has to be completed before they get their building permit.
Okay.
Thank you.
okay. You're okay? Okay. Anything further? All in favor? Carried. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Next is item 7. It's Building and Planning Department. And it's for a report from Daryl Hall, CBO, MBEO, Planning Assistant, dated September 1st, and it's his building permit summary for July and August. Be it resolved that the report from Daryl Hall, CBO, MBEO, Planning Assistant, dated September 1, 2022, rebuilding permit summary, July, August 2022, be received and filed. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Phillips, second. Councillor Hogg. Okay, any questions for? Wait a minute, did I lose one here? Building permit. No, I'm okay. Any questions for Daryl?
Looks like he's pretty busy.
Looks like it. Any comments from you, Daryl?
No, just good afternoon to Mayor Latchford and council. No, I don't really have any comments. It is the July and August report together. I will say though that since I've done the report last week, we have issued 6 more permits to the end of August. So that's 134 now, which I just had a brief look today, and we're about 12 more than we were last year at this time, total permit wise. So, and again, last year was a busy year, so this year's been busy as well. So, and there's still more coming in. Obviously, we're only in September, so we're going forward.
Good, thank you. Okay, all in favor of this report? Carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl. Item 8 is Parks and Recreation. Report from Jennifer Steen, Parks, Recreation and Cultural Coordinator, dated September 1, 22, re Roseneath Agricultural Society request. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Almac Haldeman received the Roseneath Agricultural Society request report dated September 1, 22, and further that Council needs to set the direction of this one. Could I have a mover, please, to get it on the floor? Councillor Phillips, second. Councillor Hogg. Okay, any questions? This is concerning a rental fee for the Roseneath Agricultural Society for a games night on Thursday night. And they're requesting to pay $50 per rental, which will be close to $1,600 for 28 weeks over the winter. Any comments, questions? Councillor Booth?
Through you, your worship. I guess my only concern with this request is, and we've had it in the past from certain groups, but they were long-standing rentals. They were already renting like the Centerton and things like that. And then they came to council asking for it. It's the Roseneath Agricultural Fair, which has been around a lot, but this is a new rental. So they're asking us to basically, they're going to pay 1/3 of what our rental rates are. So I guess my concern is we did a study, we have rental rates out there, but it looks like with every group that comes, we're negotiating a rental for it. So it's concerning to me. That's all.
Roseneath Agricultural Society has rented the ACC for a number of functions over the years as well, and they change with how people change. So it looks to me that if for them to pay the regular half rent, it would be too expensive for them to do this. And this brings people into the community and that, you know, they've suffered as well with fundraising over COVID, like every other organization. So I need a decision. Any other comments before I call for a decision? Counselor Phil?
Thank you. And through the mayor, is Jennifer Steen on?
She's on vacation.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I would have liked to see how she arrived at this, like what her interpretation was as well.
I
Would
think
you
she
be
just
able-
went for the half-day rental by the looks of
Yeah,
it.
she based everything off of the fee schedule that we approved.
Okay. All right, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
So to be what, for a couple hours?
3 hours.
What's council's wishes?
Mayor, there's still a voluntary group fundraising.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with going with this the way it is.
Like the full price or the $50 as they've,
$50,
as they requested?
yeah.
In order to, for them to be able to have it as well. So Mike, are you satisfied with that? You made the motion?
Well, I certainly see where Councillor Booth is coming from on this one. You know, what's the point of having a fee schedule if you're not going to stick to it? But given the fact that it's a voluntary deal and that you know, they're looking at fundraising, I'd be willing to let this one go.
So then you're making the motions. So the direction from council would be then at $50 a night.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Booth?
Just a comment, and I understand it's a long-standing organization and they do good for the community. I just want to remind council that I remember 2 years ago, the men's shed came here asking for rent reduction and stuff like that, and they were sort of not given anything. So I just want to remind council that we have the fee schedule. That's what it is. If it was already a rental group that was in there, this group, the Roseneath Agricultural Fund, already has an agreement with the town that allows them up to $5,000 worth of free rentals at the ACC. They are given the whole community center plus the garage for free for 7 days for the fair, which is fine. They are allowed 3 fundraising meetings a year in the large auditorium with the bar included for free. And they also have the ladies organization up there, which they are allowed once a month for free. And they're allowed once a month for free for their monthly meeting. So to me, you know, the town has already gone over and above and they've got $5,000 worth of rentals if they took everything. And it just seems to me that, you know, people's hands are continually out to say, we want a reduction, we want a reduction. And this is going to be a reduction of $1,977 that the taxpayers is obviously going to have to cover that. So I'm sorry, I'll vote against it.
Okay. The other comment then, if like to make another comment, pickleball goes in there for $2 a person. So they're in there probably at least 2 hours. If 2 people go, that's $4 rent. If 4 people go, that's $8 rent. And they go all winter as well. And, you
But that's a
know,
community, that's run by us, the township.
and it's way too cheap.
Totally separate issue.
Yeah, well, to me, the men's shed was a separate issue as well because we weren't familiar with it. That's history, but maybe we made a mistake there at the time, but we did start helping out the men's shed and then COVID hit. So
Well, I'll take you back on that. We didn't help the men's shed at all. They ended up disappearing and dissolving because
Of
council
COVID.
of the day, we did nothing for them. So I don't agree with that comment, but
Well,
that's fine. I don't want to drag it out. I just
No,
made
I don't
my
either.
point on it that we tend to have a very short memory when it comes to stuff, and we allow certain groups a little bit more leeway than other ones.
Okay. I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor? Carried. Item 9 is a report from Nicole Leach Bahoon, Treasurer, dated September 1. Read 2022, Quarter 2 financial reporting. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Alnwick Haldeman received the report from the Treasurer dated September 1st, 2022, regarding the June 2022 Quarter 2 financial reporting. Can I have a mover for that one, please? Councillor Phil, second. Councillor Booth. Nicole on? Okay. Nicole, do you have anything that you'd like to speak on this first? Any
you.
highlights or anything that you want us to make sure we don't forget?
Thank you, Mayor. I think truly all the highlighted items are there. I mean, my report identifies that from a revenue side, we've done our final billings for the year, so they're reflective of that. This only being the first 6 months, and July and August being very busy time, especially for our public works. There's still a fair few expenditures that you don't see at the end of June, but I expect that once we have the third quarter reporting, that you'll see a lot more expenditures wise. And yeah, I've also identified some of the overages that are there. So if there's any further questions from council, I'd be good to answer those.
Okay, thank you. The explanations were very good.
Yeah.
So any questions from council? Anybody got a question on this one? Councillor Booth?
Through you, your worship, thank you. I just wanted to thank Nicole very much for this report. I did have the opportunity to talk to Nicole on Monday about, I had a few questions about it, and she corrected me or showed me the proper way to read it and look at it. But there was just one, and I haven't heard back yet, Nicole, was about the library consultants fee. They had, and I know the library is not really ours, but I don't know if you've had a chance to speak with them or whatever, that they had $3,500 in their budget for consulting, and they're already $9,164 over. So they spent like almost 13,000. Was there any kind of explanation for, were they getting reports done for them? Like was it consultants reports for pay equity and stuff like that? Or is it something that was just unexpected?
Through you, Mayor, I did have a look at the detail on that account. It does appear that mainly what is going through there is things like legal and consulting, and I am aware that there was at least one employment issue that we had to consult with legal. I have sent something out to the library CEO, however, she is not back in the office until next week, so I will follow up with her, but there didn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary going through that account, other than legal and consulting fees. So she could probably clarify that when she returns.
Thank you. Councillor Phillip?
Yes, I will support Nicole's report. That's exactly right. And a lot of this stuff is not not for disclosure. It was enclosed. And so we're not a party to discuss it in any way, shape or form. And of course, that the library board would continue not to be available to discuss anything enclosed. But Nicole's right on.
Thank you. Anything further? Yes, good.
Thank you for that. And thank you, Councillor Philip. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing going into the account. And like Nicole said, she checked it. So that's fine with me. I guess my other question to you, Nicole, is for things like that and other departments, when they run way over budget like that, are they then asked by yourself or by the CAO that if they've spent 30% more of their budget, are they asked then to try and find a budget line somewhere where they can make that money up if they haven't spent it? Or is it, do we just accept it that they're over and that's it? Because some of the accounts are way over. I'm just wondering, do the managers realize that they have to start looking then somewhere else if they could save some money?
Through you, Mayor, I think all of management are aware that they have an overall budget that they are to stay within. I think we're all aware that there's sometimes unforeseen expenses that do happen, and that's why we have this report to explain them. We also will be having some of the managers explain items that I wasn't able to clarify. That doesn't change the fact that those overages have occurred and that we do need to look for places to save to offset that. And I think if you speak with any of the managers, they will tell you that they're more than aware that is the case.
Okay, thank you. And again, thank you very much. It's a very detailed report. It's nice to see something like this finally.
Thanks, Nicole. I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor? Carried. Item 10 is communications. I won't read them twice. I'll just read the motion. Be it resolved that the following correspondence be received and filed. AMO Communications dated August 18th, 2022, re AMO Watch File, and AMO Communications dated August 25th, 2022, re AMO Watch File. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Philip, second. Councillor Hogg. All in favor? Carried. Item 10.2 is correspondence from the Roseneath Agricultural Society dated August 26, 2022. Request for approval of the beer garden. It's a public event with a special occasion permit for Roseneath Fair. Note, the Fire Department Prevention Division has met with the representatives from the Roseneath Fair, have inspected the premises, and everything has met the requirements for the fire and life safety with respect to the fire department. Be it resolved that the correspondence from the Roseneath Agricultural Society dated August 26, 2022, request for approval of the beer garden public event special occasion permit for Roseneath Fair be received, and further that council, I need direction with the motion. Now have a mover? Jim, Councillor Hogg? That we approve or disapprove? Approve. Second? Councillor Booth? All in favor? Carried. Announcements and notice of motions. Councillor Booth.
A couple of things. I'll try and do it in chronological order. August 24th was the last movie in the park, which was at Roseneath Public School, and I attended just for a few minutes. It was supposed to start at 8, but I guess it wasn't getting as dark as we thought that early. So when I left at around 8:20 or something, there was about 75 people there. So I thought that was a good crowd. So I just wanted to congratulate Jennifer Steen that it was very well attended, and the people I talked to, they thought it was great. And a thank you again to, is it Jennifer Pennington? Jacqueline Pennington. Thank you again to her, and I guess it was her husband or somebody that was serving popcorn and slushies to the kids, which was never ending. So thank you. The other one is I noticed on Facebook that tomorrow there is a commuter via rail train rally at Coburg from 2 till 3 o'clock. If anybody's interested in attending that, I guess a lot of people are unhappy that via train number 651. And I believe that runs from Kingston all the way to, I guess it's Toronto, right?
Union Station, yeah.
Yeah, that they're looking to have that resumed. It was stopped during COVID
Mhm.
because there wasn't a lot of people, but
Well, a
now
lot of people that worked in the city weren't able to go, so
yeah.
that's why.
So that's tomorrow at the Coburg Via Station from 2 to 3, if anybody's interested in going. Also, I see that there's a meet and greet on Sunday, September the 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Centerton Community Center, and that's hosted by Margaret Benz. And everybody, I guess that's running for councillor, that would be a good opportunity for everybody to show up. And I guess the last one is, and it's far enough away, is I noticed that the Grafton Outdoor Christmas Market on December 3rd, which is a long way away, but I attended that last year with my wife, and I think that was a very well attended thing. And I think, is Jennifer involved in that, Troy?
Yes, she's been in discussions already.
So save the date for that if you're around December the 3rd, because that was really nice where they closed off the street. And Mayor, you were there too. We met and went there, and they were handing out some freebie stuff and everything. So I'm wondering maybe if the town could even have a booth there or something that maybe we could
Promote.
promote. CAO could show up and shake hands, maybe dress up as Santa or something. Or
Pretty close there.
we'll give it
now.
some thought.
What would he need? What extra would he need?
I'll leave it at that. Thank you. That's
Yeah,
it.
good.
Yes, that was a very good show for the first one, and lots of gifts were going out of there. And the library was selling used books and had a draw, so good fundraiser.
Somebody handed out, was it the church that handed out gingerbread houses or something? That was
Yeah,
hundreds of them actually.
yeah, I think the Sunday school
Yeah.
made them. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good showing. Okay, Counselor Hawk?
Yes, I just have one. I received an email from the OFA, and it's about an invasive species in hemlock trees. Hello, my name is Ryan Adams. I'm the forestry technician for Northumberland County, and I want to report there's an infestation of hemlock woolly adelgid, I think that's how you pronounce it, found in the Grafton area. And they're just warning all farmers and any landowners that if you have any mature hemlocks, you should take a look, because it's quite invasive, and they don't know how they're going to stop it at the moment. It does have natural predators, but they don't know if the circumstances and are going to keep it under control. So they said if you have to harvest your hemlock early, you should be thinking about it. That's
Okay.
everything I have.
Thanks. Maybe should go on our website.
Yeah, if you can send us some information or let that gentleman know to contact us, we can put it on
Okay.
our social media.
All right. Another invasive species.
And the train commute went on the website as well.
I think it was
Yeah.
on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Jim?
No, that's everything.
I just have one announcement. Fire Chief Tim Blake is retiring, and Friday at 2 is his recognition. And if I imagine, well, Dave does know, our chief, because he sent it out to us. So if any other staff wish to go, or firefighters, it's at 2 o'clock at the fire hall in Camelford. He's been there a long time. Counselor Phil?
Well, that's the trouble with going last, is everybody steals your thunder.
Yeah.
Counselor Booth. The only thing I can trip Counselor Booth up on is that I thought it was worth mentioning that David Puccini is spearheading this commuter train piece, and I suspect he'll be there as well. So I'm all on board, if you'll pardon the pun, with that happening and seeing our residents be able to commute back and forth to the big smoke. And so I'll sit with bated breath to see if we make some progress on that.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Other than that, everything else has been mentioned. So I know this is a surprise to you, Madam Mayor, but I have nothing further to say.
It is a surprise. So VIA is looking at reinstating that train. So hopefully with all the support
Yeah,
that
that's what I
they do
hear.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Item 12, motion to recess to close session. The motion is that the Council of the Township of Almore Calderman will be recessing to a closed session under section 2392 to consider litigation, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board, with the CAO, acting clerk and deputy clerk remaining in attendance at 1:09 PM. Thanks for coming, everyone. You too. Oh, mover, Counselor Booth, second, Counselor Hogg, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Get it.
Councilor Phillip.
So we came back into council, regular council at 1:49 PM. Counselor Phillip and Counselor Booth made that motion. This is approval of the confirming bylaw. Be it resolved that bylaw number 105-2022, a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the regular session of council held on Thursday, September 1, 2022, be read and deemed passed this first day of September 2022. Have a mover? Counselor Phillip
I only have so many more movements.
and Counselor Booth. All in favor? Carried. And be it resolved that the regular session of council of Thursday, September 1, 2022 be adjourned at 1:51 PM. Counselor Hogg and Counselor Booth, all in favor? Carried.